Champaign, where they had tornadoes on the ground from these exact same storms. So that just goes to show that the environment in our area is conducive to tornadoes, and we do have a couple of tornado warnings that we are monitoring right now. So we'll go back to Jasper County and central Jasper County. You can see that it looks like it is still moving, now moving across 231. I'll try to zoom in a little bit more here, show you where that exact location is, moving probably likely north of Gifford, heading toward Walker. So Walker, if you are near that city, be sure to seek shelter immediately, as the center of rotation likely right in this zone. You can see just a little bit of curvature there. Not too impressive on radar, but again, the National Weather Service is seeing it. So there's the rotation likely there just southwest of Walker, near 49, between 49 and 231. So there's 231 right here, 49 right behind me. There's the rotation, likely going to be moving right into Walker. So if you are in Walker, seek shelter right now into a sturdy building, in your basement, out of your car. If you are inside a one-story house, get to the center part of your house, go to the center bedroom, closet, bathroom. If you have a bathroom, get in the bathtub. Put mattresses over you if you can, some pillows, even some pots and pans over your head, anything to protect you if we do have a tornado on the ground that's going to be moving toward Walker, likely staying south of Wheatfield. So we'll put a track on this storm in Walker, where we have the center of rotation moving off toward the northeast at about 35 to 40 miles per hour. Dunn's Bridge at about 1120, Railroad about 1128, Dewey 1133 to the northeast with these storm systems moving. So we have to stay on air for tornado warnings. That is one rule that we follow here at Storm Team 18 Weather Center. We have to keep people safe, and that's why we are on air constantly with these tornado warnings, since we do have not just one tornado warning, we have multiple tornado warnings here across the viewing area. We'll go ahead and get back down to the Benton County tornado warning for us at this hour. Now likely crossing 41, going just north of Boswell. We'll look at velocity, see, oh yes, that's a tight couplet there right now. I'll go back to the other radar. We'll see, there we go. North of Boswell, just crossing 41 right now. That's a pretty tight couplet there. That will be moving likely south of Fowler, but Fowler, go ahead and seek shelter right now. But you can see that clear indication where we have that close red and that close green right together, moving to the northeast. The National Weather Service is currently saying this storm is moving at about 40 to 45 miles per hour to the northeast, and was located near Boswell, 13 miles southwest of Fowler. Right now it is southwest of Fowler. Fowler, you should be in the clear, but still seek shelter. So I like to say respect the polygon, since you are in the red area that the National Weather Service has highlighted, that you are in that tornado warning. Really all of central and eastern Benton County seek shelter as these storms will continue to move off to the northeast at 45 miles per hour. This storm in particular moving about 10 miles per hour faster than what we are seeing up in Jasper County with that tornado warning. So this is, again, all radar indicated. Just got a new radar sweep there. Still looks like we could have some rotation just based off of regular radar. And we can certainly see that here in both cases. This is looking a little bit more, I want to say the best word to describe, a little bit more messy. But we look at velocity, you can still clearly see north of Barkley, south of Wheatfield, that red and green, showing that there could be some rotation there. A tornado could be likely in this area. Nothing has been confirmed from the National Weather Service, which I'll just go ahead and recheck that we have availability to be able to see things from the National Weather Service. Looks like we had about a 50 miles per hour gust, 40 miles per hour gust in Brazil, Indiana. That's farther south. But otherwise, no new updates. As I'll reiterate again, the entire viewing area is currently underneath a tornado watch until 4 p.m. I'll take a wider look here. There's that tornado warning in Jasper County, tornado warning in Benton County. This will stay north of Lafayette for us. That may clip. They may move the tornado warning into White County over the next couple scans here if it continues to show that tight rotation just south of Fowler. And how we can tell that, again, is with our velocity showing a decent couplet there in just south of Fowler. We'll dig deep right to your hometown. East 300 south, Swanington, south of Fowler, Atkinson, you can see. East 300 and South Meridian Road. If you know those roads, if you know anybody that lives close to that, or Highway 18, getting ready to cross 52 between Fowler and Atkinson. If you know anybody in the path of this storm in Benton County, send them a text, send them a phone call saying, hey, get to your shelter, your safe place, since we are seeing a clear indication that there may be rotation and a tornado there. We'll quickly show this, not showing much on our debris tracker, as these storms are fairly far away from the radar, but it would have to take something very significant for it to show up on our correlation coefficient radar. It kind of shows between debris versus rain if the radar is picking up objects that is not rain, but clearly showing up on our velocity radar right now. And Chief Meteorologist Chad Evans in right now. We'll get him on here in just a few, but south of Fowler, you can see that tight rotation, the red and the green very close together south of Fowler, and we'll move off to the northeast at 45 miles per hour. The National Weather Service has this, and going from radar to radar from Indianapolis, Chicago to northeast Indiana, we're definitely seeing that tight rotation here this midday. So we are currently at 1210. We'll put a track on this to the northeast of the viewing area. Wolcott 1242, Reynolds 1255, Monon 102. If this continues into White County, that's where we will be seeing this travel to for right now. Yes, we'll go back to radar. And you can see just a lot of lightning still with some of these storms. It looks more clustered, not very organized whatsoever, so that's good news. It looks like it may be weakening, but the velocity is definitely still showing that tight little couplet south of Fowler, north and west of Oak Grove, getting ready to cross 52 at this hour. We'll go back to our other tornado-warned storm in Jasper County. Certainly looks a lot better, as in not as impressive tornado-wise. So they may allow to expire this storm system, but still underneath the tornado warning up toward Walker. That's where we've been watching for very closely. Seeing a little bit red and green, but otherwise things are looking in better shape there in Jasper County with that storm system, as it looks like it has weakened some, but radar still showing just a little bit of that hook near 49 here this midday. So moving off to the south, we'll go back to our Benton County storm. The entire county right now, really from Fowler off toward the east. Seek shelter immediately. That's where that tornado warning currently is right now. And when we put on the velocity, it clearly shows where we have that very broad rotation right now. Depending on what radar I show, but it's still very far away from most of the radars in Indiana that we can see this storm with, but it's still picking up that rotation between Fowler. Fowler, if you are hearing this, if you're seeing me, make sure you are seeking shelter right now. Get underground, get to the center part of your house, south near Oak Grove, so 52, you can see just crossing now. It's likely across 52 by now, since radar's about 5-10 minutes old. Going up Highway 18. So Wolcott, you are in the path of this storm as it will continue to move off. There's the latest radar scan, still showing a decent amount of rotation in this region. They did cut back the warning to Fowler. You can see the polygon now is to Fowler down toward Boswell, but Oak Grove, and northeastern portions of Benton County. That's where we're seeing where you should be in your safe place as this warning will continue to move off. I've been mentioning all the last 45 minutes we've been on air, 30 minutes, that these storms do have a history of producing tornadoes. In Illinois, they had tornadoes on the ground. We have not had anything confirmed as of right now. So let me go ahead and check this from the National Weather Service. Chicago continues here just a minute ago, continues the tornado warning for Benton County until 12:45 Eastern Standard Time. A severe thunderstorm capable of producing tornadoes located over Fowler, moving northeast at 45 miles per hour. So looks like more warnings well off to the south out of our viewing area. So regardless, the storms that we are seeing can certainly start to rotate as we are seeing. So southeastern Crawfordsville, Montgomery County, be aware of that as well, as there are storms to your south. We'll stay south of Crawfordsville, but we're kind of focused on this line right here, kind of individual cells. It's not one solid line, but low topped, not a lot of hail with these storms. As noted from the National Weather Service, there may be some pea size or marble size, but these are low top. They're not very high in the sky. But again, we're still having those two tornado warnings, one in central and eastern Benton County, now out of Fowler. Be sure to take shelter immediately. I'll show you what we've been seeing on our velocity, the winds in the storm. This helps us a lot. One of our most important tools on radar that shows the red and the green close together, and that will be traveling off to the northeast, likely south of Remington. If they continue this warning into White County, West Point near going up toward 231, that point between 24 and 231. That's where this storm will likely go and follow to the north and to the east. We'll put another track on this. We'll kind of include Monticello on that. Wolcott 1241 is when we'll be expecting that system. Reynolds 1253, Monon 101 there in Benton County with that storm system. So we are seeing this clear on radar, kind of a little bit more messy on radar than what we can see on velocity at this hour. Looks like they have expired that tornado warning in Jasper County, so the only storm that we are highly concerned about is the one in Benton County that is still tornado warned right now, that is moving northeast at 45 miles per hour. We'll take a dive right into the center of the storm, north of Atkinson, near Highway 18, 55, just crossed 52, heading off towards 65. Within the next at least 10 to 15 minutes, we'll cross 65. Center of rotation likely in this spot, just east of Fowler, moving off to the north and to the east. Chief Meteorologist Chad Evans is getting ready. I'll let him take over here in a little bit. He just arrived in, but we've been tracking again just this one tornado warning in Benton County, just east of Fowler. Going down Highway 18, Brookston should be in the clear, but go ahead and take your precautions. No warnings downstream yet. We'll continue to monitor this. Looking not as pronounced as what we were currently seeing. It looks a lot more broad, not as tight is what we've been noticing, but picking up a lot more lightning on that south edge. So could be intensifying a little bit more in the coming scans. We'll continue to watch it. Here's a look at radar. Again, these storms have a history of producing tornadoes in Illinois. We have not had anything confirmed here in Indiana as of right now. We will check our social media pages. If you see anything safely, send it our way. Chief Meteorologist Chad Evans and David Seipel on Facebook, Twitter. We'll be able to get that. But be sure there in Benton County, seek shelter east of Fowler at this hour. So, Chad, if you want to go ahead and take over,
sure,
I'll let you take over.
I'm going to give you a little break. You're doing an awesome job. I was just going to let you track, and I would give you storm reports, but I can give you a little bit of a break, and we'll get you back on here.
I'll look at my social media, and if you have any reports, send them our way. Do it safely after the storm. But Chief Meteorologist Chad Evans, go ahead and take over.
David, I just have to say, David Seipel is an excellent meteorologist, and he's done a great job this morning. I just want to give you a little break just to let your voice heal up a little bit. But this guy, I couldn't work with a better Matt. I'm just telling you that right now. So, David, man, been tracking this all morning. And this is live TV, so we're kind of doing this willy-nilly, if you will. We're going back and forth. And, David, will I give you a slight break? If you want to gather storm reports, then we can flip back so you can do some tracking as well. But, yeah, here we are. It is 12:18. We're in the midday show. We're not in the midday show because David's been tracking the severe weather in the area. And this was something, that David had talked about this morning. And hats off to him. We had the slight risk. We have been able to get unstable enough. I mean, temperatures are as high as the mid-60s out there. If you walk outside, you know that it's warm out. Temperatures as high as 66. I just saw Covington before I came in was 66. And at last check, I believe it was 64 at the Purdue airport. So we've got the shear. Now we've got the missing ingredient we always seem to miss. And that's the instability, the buoyancy. We've got helium in the balloons, the air to rise. So that said, the tornado warning continues for eastern Benton County. You see the cloud-to-ground lightning strikes. When you see an uptick in these cloud-to-ground lightning strikes, normally the storm is strengthening. And we've seen this little curlicue right where the rotation is, a real uptick in the cloud-to-ground strikes as David was on air. And this is racing very rapidly to the northeast. And as he had said, you don't have a lot of time when you're in a tornado warning situation like this, and these are not violent tornadoes. They're not EF3s, EF4s, anything like that. These are like EF0s, EF1s, still dangerous. But when they're racing at 60 to 65 miles an hour, there's not much time till they get there. So if you're in Monon right now, in northwest of Monticello, it's going to be there in like 10 minutes, 15 minutes, because it's racing so quickly. Again, right here it is, this little S shape, this little curlicue just east of Fowler. Right there, that's the area that's got the rotation. And if we carry it in this general direction, within the next 15 minutes, it's going to make it into Monon, and it's going to be just south of Monticello. And in these sorts of situations, too, you can't rule out some damaging winds. The winds are very, very strong in the low levels. So it wouldn't take much to get severe gusts even down to the ground. So you may very well have a little rain-wrapped tornado developing here, racing to the northeast. And then on this side, you've got winds gusting more than 60 miles an hour. And even up here, you may have winds gusting more than 60 miles an hour. So no matter which way you slice it, we've got kind of a double threat here, and I wouldn't even confine the wind threat just to Benton County, even Jasper County, head of Pulaski County. You've got the wind threat as well, and even though the main circulation is here, it looks like we got a little circulation developing up here south of Rensselaer. So let's dig in a little tighter once again, kind of do an X-ray of the storm.
If we use the velocities here.
Oh, great. Oh, yeah, absolutely. Thank you, David. We're kind of toggling back between two radars here. I believe the Northern Indiana radar and the Indiana, well, actually probably the Chicago radar and the Indianapolis radar. So that's why the colors are changing back and forth. But no matter which way you slice it, we know where the circulation is, where we may have a brief tornado developing here. And that's just southwest of Wolcott. It's just a few miles south of Wolcott. This is going to move. If we've got a tornado developing here, it's going to pass very close to Wolcott in the next about 5 minutes. It's going to cross I-65. I believe there's an NDOT cam at that rest area south of Wolcott, too. So that may be a good vantage point. We can see if we can see a funnel cloud or tornado crossing I-65 right here. So here's Wolcott, 231. Reynolds is over here. There's Remington. This is US 24 right here, and there's I-65. And there's your rotation. And remember the radar, the NEXRAD radar from the National Weather Service, these radars are updating about every couple of minutes or so. So this is probably near I-65 right now and closing in on Wolcott. So we may end up with a tornado warning, and it appears the circulation is still pretty tight. We may end up with a tornado warning for northern White County here very shortly. But it looks like it's going to pass south of Remington. Let's go a little farther north. Remember the curlicue I was talking about near Rensselaer? We're utilizing the Chicago radar here. And there's no real strong rotation signature here. There may be some pretty high winds, kind of where this is bulging out. Some winds may be gusting more than 60. This is racing east-northeastward. This is 114. This is Highway 16. There's 231. And there's the 114 exit there at Rensselaer. So this area may have some damaging winds racing eastward, and that's going to be moving in this general direction over here towards Francisville, Madairyville, and kind of areas west of Monon. That's mainly a damaging straight-line wind threat. Any rotation there looks pretty weak right now. Certainly the main area of rotation is down in Benton County. Now, if you're in Lafayette area, you're in Fountain County, you are in Montgomery County, you're saying, well, what's happening here? Well, right now you don't have any warnings, but at any point, any one of these cells could go under a warning. This is a pretty intense cell south of Perrysville that's moving towards Covington, or areas just south of Covington, and towards Veedersburg right now. And that one may have some small hail mixed in it right now. And then you got these other cells that may still have some pretty strong winds of more than 45 miles an hour that are approaching Attica, moving through the Pine Village area, and approaching West Lafayette right now. But keep in mind that any one of these cells could go severe very rapidly. And remember, they're racing at 60 to 65. So, these are going to be in here very quickly in the greater Lafayette. So if one of these intensifies, it would do very, very quickly, and you'd have a tornado warning at the drop of a hat, at a snap, or severe thunderstorm warning in a snap. It's not a situation where we've got, they're moving at 40 and we've got a long time to figure out when they're going to get to your place. These are moving so fast that they're in and out, but they are moving very, very quickly. Already that storm with the tornado warning in Benton County is moving, rapidly approaching western White County right now. So there it is. This is the main storm. This is the storm that's got the warning right now, the tornado warning. This little curlicue right here to get our bearings straight. This would be US 24. 231 is here. Down here is Highway 18 that runs from Fowler to Delphi. So this is not far from the I-65 rest area. And if we've got a tornado wrapped in this, it is in that little curlicue you see right there. And I'll zoom in even a little tighter to give us an even better view. This is the White-Benton County line. This is where Benton, White, and Jasper County come together. Remington's up here. And there is the circulation. Very rural area up here, but still it's going to pass through kind of where 231. And I guess that would be, I always want to make sure my bearings are straight. At 231 and US 24, that's where the circulation is going to pass through. And that's very close to Wolcott. So if we've got a tornado here, it would be right there southwest of Wolcott and now moving into Wolcott right as we speak. Okay, looks like David, thank you so much, David. We've got the I-65 and US 231 camera we can see right here. If we can go to that graphic, there it is. Again, kind of shrouded in rain. A lot of these situations, if you've got a funnel, it's very hard to see. It becomes very shrouded in rain, and you can't get a good vantage point. That is one of the hard parts of a squall line like this in the cool season. It's very hard to see if you've got anything there. And sometimes it's just a brief spin up. It's a spin up where, it's 30 seconds. It's a spin up and then it's gone. And you may not even notice it even pass through. So that's kind of the situation we're in right now, where obviously it's wrapped in rain. It's overcast. It's windy there. We've got the storm going through that area right as we speak. And I believe that is if memory serves me right, I feel like that is the 18. It's the Remington exit. Thank you, Mary. It's the 231 exit there at Remington. So the part that's rotating is probably just south of there, but we are looking nearby, and it just a lot of rain. It's very, very much shrouded in rain in that area. So thanks to David for getting that shot up, and Mary for letting me know where that is, who's in the back here in production. If you're just joining us right now, it is 12:28. We've got a tornado warning for eastern Benton County. We may end up with a tornado warning for White County very, very soon. The main area of rotation we have noticed is right here, just south of Remington, and not far from the Wolcott rest area on I-65. That rotation has been kind of tightening and broadening back and forth for about the past 30, 40 minutes here. And right there it is. We have another one that's trying to go down here south of there. That's headed for Highway 18 and US 231. That one's pretty broad too. That looks more like a wind, kind of a rear flank downdraft, a wind on the back side. Okay, we got I-65 at the Wolcott exit. We'll take a look at that one as well. Again, that's looks like rain falling there. Again, shrouded in rain. Like I always say, that's the tough part about these. You get a line of storms in the cool season. It's tough. That's just rain, and it's completely overcast there. So if we have a spin up, it would be very close to that area, and you're just not going to see it. It's just wrapped in rain. It's not classic like you normally see. We normally see tornadoes in the plains, or you see these